exactly 10:30 p.m. Asmara time. Hello and thank you for joining us on ERi-TV English News Broadcast. I'm Heaven Johans, your news anchor for this session, coming to you live from our headquarters in Asmara with the current local and international news. We shall first begin with the major headlines. Minister Yamana Meskel met with Director of the UN Information Service. Training on producing organic fertilizers. North Korea to produce self-detonating explosive drones. And the European Union orders Meta to pay $800 million fine. In our domestic news, Mr. Yamana Meskel, Minister of Information, met this morning with Ms. Sandra Makaria, Director of the UN Information Service in East Africa. During the meeting, Minister Yamana stated that the long-standing defamation against Eritrea has been politically driven and coordinated media campaign by the United States and European media outlets. Minister Yamana further noted that the defamation has been beyond normal and presented evidence showing that the negative media coverage of Eritrea is tied to the geopolitical interests of certain well-known countries. Ms. Sandra Makaria, on her part, noted that she had productive discussions with various Eritrean officials. She mentioned that her perception of the country had changed significantly since her visit and praised the professional and insightful information she received from Eritrean youth. Ms. Nahla Valji, UN Resident Coordinator in Eritrea, also attended the meeting. The delegation, composed of Ms. Louise Haxtoson, Regional Director of UNESCO in East Africa, and Ms. Sandra Makaria, visited the ancient archaeological site of Adulis and the Northern Red Sea Museum on 13 and 14 November. During their visit to Adulis, the delegation received a detailed briefing from experts and coordinators of the project that is being carried out by a joint effort of Eritrean and Italian archaeologists. The Ministry of Agriculture branch in the Gashbarka region provided training to commanders and staff members of the Sawa National Service Training Center on the production of organic fertilizers. The training aimed to boost agricultural production. At the event, Mr. Bahlibi Goytom, soil expert at the branch office, presented a research paper on soil and integrated management of soil productivity. Mr. Bahlibi explained in detail the characteristics and processes of soil, emphasizing that the best way to address soil degradation is through the use of organic fertilizers, crop rotation, and judicious water use. Highlighting the negative consequences of chemical fertilizers on soil content and the health of crops, vegetables, livestock, and humans, Mr. Bahlibi urged farmers to frequently use organic fertilizers. Ms. Adiam Rezana, compost fertilizer expert at the Ministry of Agriculture, also presented a research paper titled Dangerous Influence of Chemical Fertilizers and Pesticides. Ms. Adiam further said that use of chemical fertilizers for boosting agricultural production has harmful effects on human health, the environment, livestock, and underground water. The participants in turn called for the training to be sustained and expanded across the country. Ancient heritage traces, including rock-engraved paintings, spears used for hunting and farming activities, and ceramics, have been discovered in the Afabet subzone. Mr. Johannes Ghebreyesus, head of culture and sports in the Northern Red Sea region, stated that the discovery of these ancient heritage traces, identified through information provided by local residents, bears similarities to findings made in 2022 in the area. Mr. Johannes also mentioned that a large vessel discovered in the Afabet subzone, estimated to be 350 to 400 years old, resembles other findings across the region and indicates the existence of a historical trade route from Adulis to Afabet. Ms. Tegisti Beidu, head of Heritage Preservation and Ancient Historical Sites, noted that the engraved paintings suggest the area was once covered in thick forests and that extensive agricultural activities had been conducted. Mr. Takhlawaini Nagasi, a representative from the Culture and Sports Department in the region, added that meetings have been conducted with village elders and experts in the Abed subzone to document and preserve intangible heritage. This wraps our domestic news for this session. Dear viewers, we'll be back with the international ones after the short break. Welcome back. North Korea will be producing self-detonating explosive drones after overseeing a test of the aerial weapon, North Korean media reported today. The drone tests carried out yesterday came after North Korea ratified a mutual defense treaty with Russia on Tuesday, in which the two countries pledged to use all available means to provide immediate military assistance in the event the other is attacked. The defense pact between Russia and North Korea was signed in June by Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin during a state visit by the Russian leader to Pyongyang. The North Korean leader previously oversaw the test of self-detonating drones in August, where he stressed the need to equip the North Korean army with them. In October, North Korea accused South Korea of flying propaganda-filled drones over Pyongyang. Seoul did not confirm or deny the accusations. On our last news. The European Commission has fined Meta platforms a total of €797 million over that it has described as abusive practices that allegedly benefited Facebook Marketplace, which Meta owns and operates. In a statement published yesterday, the Commission claimed that Meta had breached the EU's antitrust rules by tying its online classified ad service Facebook Marketplace to its personal social network Facebook and by imposing unfair trading conditions on other online classified ads service providers. Meta has said that it would appeal the fine and argued that Brussels' ruling ignored the fact that Facebook users had the option of choosing whether or not to engage with the marketplace service. Brussels had originally accused Meta of violating EU laws and opened formal proceedings into the company's suspected anti-competitive practices in 2021. Concerns over Meta tying Facebook to its online classified ad services were raised in December 2022. Earlier this year, EU antitrust regulators also accused Meta of violating the bloc's Digital Markets Act by introducing a pay-or-consent advertising model, which gave its users the option of paying a subscription fee or allowing their data to be used for advertising. This concludes our news for this session, dear viewers. Now time for a quick recap of the major headlines. Minister Yamana Meskel met with Director of the UN Information Service. Training on producing organic fertilizers. North Korea to produce self-detonating explosive drones. And the European Union orders Meta to pay $800 million fine. This was The World on Friday with ERi-TV English news broadcast. Dear viewers, thank you for joining. Have a good weekend.